as we enter into a delusionary state, as the chemicals cross the blood-brain barrier, as warm beer nights fade into white room mornings, as the windows are barred, as the women rob our wallets and the men break our bones, the words are with us. Starving, we know this madness is ours. This craft, these words we write. And though we know for some it ends in madness or in suicide, in the termination of all human relationships, these are the most positive possibilities. Much worse, looming always over the work is the fucking unhinged ghost of failure. Failure is not giving yourself to the work entirely. Failure is not death. Failure is not madness. And failure is not your woman leaving you or your family disowning you. It is not society deciding you are overall a danger and a degenerate. No. Dangerous degenerate, that is what they said about Plato. That is what they said about Bukowski, about Rimbaud, about Hemingway, about Lorca. Always best to question yourself if you become too well-adjusted or if people are too comfortable in your presence. After all, a writer away from his desk is the most horrible kind of monster. This discomfort others feel, their unreasonable demand upon you, the writer, to be a human being, to be a mere man, is designed to keep you in your proper place, to keep you at the desk, to motivate you. But what is my point? Do I even have one? Have the chemicals finally eroded the circuitry of my brain where reason is formulated? You were not made for comfort or luxury. You were not made for happiness or sanity or society. You were designed to unravel, and that unraveling recorded on the page is your glory. What other responsibilities could a writer have except to the work? Before I get to it, let's talk about the state of poetry, about how the whole goddamned enterprise as it is today totally and entirely in a state of failure. Let's talk about Rupi Kaur and the NY Times and the New Yorker, about how the academics think they can put their smooth hands and finely manicured cuticles all over the entire infrastructure. I have never read a single good poem in the New Yorker or the NY Times. What horrible deeds have you done lately? And is your writing good enough to cancel them out? What horrible deeds have I done? And why is it, as long as the work is produced, that I feel no regrets? This idea that a writer's behavior can somehow disqualify him and his art is the kind of new age feel-good fascism espoused by the politically correct movement which must be destroyed. Yes, burn all the books by the writers who did things that make you feel bad. While we're at it, let's burn all the books by writers who make you question your own artistic talents. Let's look at Ernest Hemingway's son, Gregory. Gregory believes how a writer treats his wife and family is more important than his work. I don't give a fuck about Gregory Hemingway or his childhood. When it's all added up, Papa, it will be. He wrote a few good stories, had a novel and fresh approach to reality, and he destroyed 5 persons: Hadley, Pauline, Marty, Patrick, and possibly myself. Let the ground fill with people injured by writers of that caliber. Those that survive are the lucky chosen few who will get to enjoy the work. The writer never does. What could be more selfless? Is he joking? Is he being serious? Does he really think writing is selfless? Faulkner has some wisdom to share with us on this subject. If a writer has to rob his mother, he will not hesitate. The ode on a Grecian urn is worth any number of old ladies. Who can argue with that? How can you even attempt to? What would Faulkner say if you asked him about his cruelty to his children? No one remembers Shakespeare's children. Let's think about the kind of selfish individual that would deprive us of the great works in order for them to have a better childhood. Do you feel that disgust in your stomach, that loathing for those that would approach great men and women with pitchforks and torches as though they were the villagers in Frankenstein? Do you not see that these artists aren't the monsters? That the real monsters are those who would stand in the way of their art or try to constrain them with small-minded morality? Of course not. It is the most selfish work, but also the most glorious and beneficial to the rest of mankind. Does the world need another Instagram model, or another big-chested Fox News anchor, or more Bitcoin billionaires? No, the world needs another Hemingway. The world needs another Bukowski. And if it takes 1,000,000 dead Gregory Hemingways, so be it. How can you even attempt to? What would Faulkner say if you asked him about his cruelty to his children? No one remembers Shakespeare's children. I'm sure Rupi Kaur is a beautiful individual, with many friends, who treats her family with love and respect, and doesn't beat her significant others. Who is full of no hatred or contempt for any human being, who is full of no madness and no heart, who is full of agreeableness and support for others. What the fuck does that matter? Rupi Kaur's work is trash, and there is only the work. No woman can coax it out of you. No amount of financial stability will free it. No amount of spare time will bring it to the surface. If it isn't there for you in deepest poverty, if it isn't there for you after 16 hours of work, or after you're done taking care of your children, it isn't there. It isn't waiting for you to have a room of your own to come out. Trust Faulkner when he says, the writer's only responsibility is to his art. He will be completely ruthless if he is a good one. He has a dream. It anguishes him so much he must get rid of it. He has no peace until then. Everything goes by the board. Honor, pride, decency, security, happiness, all to get the book written. I commend every writer with a happy family home, loving children, and nurturing domestic partners. If you are seeking to kill everything inside of yourself of value, continue with this. I would recommend instead that you burn this life down to the ground entirely. The sight of this life completely destroyed will be the finest inspiration. When they stand over your grave, on your tombstone, what do you want to be written? Do you want it to say, loving father and husband, he always was willing to put down his work for his family? Or do you want your marker to say, agitated loner, he died as he lived, and what killed him is what sustained him, writing? I can never live up to my own perfect vision, but this is a glorious dilemma. The dissatisfaction with the work is what drives it, and whatever is necessary to generate the work must be done. This is why you must act immorally. You must love your work more than you love yourself. You must love your work more than you love your children. You must love your work more than you love your woman. You must love your work more than you love whatever chemical gets you out of bed. You must love your work. You must love your work and never be satisfied with it.